welcome back to my channel. We have to talk about Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head and how they weren't canceled the way you think they were. So let's start with this. Let's start with Mr. Potato Head. The brand is called Mr. Potato Head, or was called Mr. Potato Head, and underneath that branch you had things like Mrs. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head, the accessories, the Potato Kids. All of it was all grouped under the Mr. Potato Head title because Mr. Potato Head was the first. Well, they decided to change that. That's it. They changed the title. So instead of the brand name being Mr. Potato, now it's Potato. Or Potato People, I don't know. It's Potato something. That is it. You still have Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head. On the box, it'll say Mrs. Potato Head and Mr. Potato Head. So they're not genderless, and you're freaking out over the gender of potatoes to begin with. They're literally just saying, hey, we have a Mr. Potato Head and a Mrs. Potato Head. Those are two different genders. Instead of just having the brand under Mr. Potato Head, we're having it under Potato Head. And then you can buy the box. It says Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head. So you're freaking out because they changed the brand name to be more inclusive to the actual toys that are there. That's what you're freaking out about. They didn't take the gender away from Mr. Potato Head, when they didn't take the gender away from Mrs. Potato Head. They just changed the brand name. Alright, now y'all are freaking out over Dr. Seuss saying that the left canceled Dr. Seuss. There was some criticism about 6 books that Dr. Seuss wrote. 6. And I want to start with the fact that what they're doing harms no one. Because Dr. Seuss is dead. He's been dead for 30 years. He's been dead for almost the entire time I've been alive. His corporation, he doesn't have all the immediate family that I'm aware of, and it goes to a corporation. And the corporation decided, for legacy and inclusive purposes, they were going to take the 6 books off the shelves. They decided. Not me, not you. We didn't ban a book or block a book. The company that owns the rights to the books are pulling the books. And that's a private company's right to pull the books. They own the books. They own the rights to the books. They can decide if the book is inclusive or not, and they pulled the books. That's it. That's what y'all are freaking out about. A brand change name, and the fact a company pulled its own books of its own free will and volition after hearing some criticism and being like, hey, maybe we could be more inclusive. That's it. Y'all are the biggest crybabies I've ever seen. Again, Mr. Potato Head has not been canceled. His name has been changed. They rebranded. And the 6 books were pulled by the company that owns them. So, aren't y'all the ones canceling Coke? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Alright, guys. That's the basic gist behind that. If you got a family member screaming about Mr. Potato Head, just tell them they changed the brand name. You can still buy a Mr. Potato Head and a Mrs. Potato Head, and they pulled 6 non-popular books that the company owns and can do as a private company.